Figure 4 Radio.
Lock it in.
Lock it in.
Lock it in. Lock it in.
Lock it in. Figure 4 Radio.
Hello everyone, welcome to Figure 4 Radio. It's the Mastermind Ollie Spring and I am joined again by Luke-O-Mac.
Hello.
And we are carrying on with our chats about WrestleMania main events.
Yes. So
last week
we
did
everyone
one.
on cliffhanger.
We did 1 through
were
16
nasty.
Last week.
We did.
And that means today we are starting off with 17.
Yeah, picking up with what is considered one of the greatest
One of the best.
whole WrestleMania shows.
It's hard to disagree.
There were some good moments in that.
I think that the best moment of all time potentially is the Spear
I was
and
about
the
to say,
TLC match.
Yeah,
that it doesn't get much bigger or better than that.
That was
if you ask
amazing.
me.
One of my favourites is the Coast to Coast from Shane on Vince.
Okay, yeah,
with
yeah.
the
trash
trash
can?
can.
Yeah.
That's
No,
a
fair
good
enough, fair
moment.
point,
I enjoyed
fair
that.
I'm trying to think. I think was there a Chicago street fight on that? Oh no, it was the
no.
was that the one with the gimmick battle royal?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, and there was
the
a pretty-
gobbledygooker.
And I think there was that the one that China won the women's title in a very shoddy match as well.
Yeah.
So apart from those two matches, I think there was Jericho and Regal.
Yep, two really good workers.
Was it Angle and Benoit in that one as well?
I cannot think of the card, but
It's the last
potentially-
WrestleMania. It's the last WrestleMania that I watched.
Oh, okay.
Actually, no, second one because I watched 31 recently as well. Actually, but
Fair enough.
yeah, I mean, so the Rock versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. Let's get straight into it.
It was
Straight into the match.
It was the heel turn for Stone Cold, which
Yeah.
didn't work.
In the long
run, it didn't work.
As the main event of potentially the best WrestleMania ever, I don't. Well, the match was fine. The last 5 minutes were a bit. They dragged on.
I think it's that thing of because, like, was it 15? We said that was the Rock versus Stone Cold, and that was like the no DQ match.
Yeah.
I think I just went into 17 thinking it needs to be another one of them.
It was also a no DQ match. But to me, there was another match that I really loved apart from the last 5 minutes. We talked about it in a really old podcast that's probably on youtube.com/F4TV. It was the Boiler Room Brawl between Undertaker and Mankind. Do you remember much about that match?
I don't remember much about it, no.
So the match was brilliant in the way it was shot. It was like a horror film more than a match. And it got to it, and basically the winner was the first person
Was this
to retrieve
Ministry?
No, this was pre-Ministry.
Oh, okay.
So the winner was the first person to retrieve the urn from Paul Bearer. And
I do remember,
Undertaker
yes.
was going to get the urn, and Paul Bearer turned his back on him. But instead of the match ending relatively soon after that, instead they dragged it out for about 5 minutes and had...
And it didn't need to be.
That's it. And it was just like... And it
Yeah.
just killed it. And I think this match, if they'd have had McMahon walk down with a chair, tease giving it to The Rock, and then give it to Stone Cold, chair shot to the head, stunner, pinfall, go. Very impactful, very shocking. Instead... We saw
Short, swift, done.
That was
yeah.
it. It was a bit awkward because McMahon didn't look like he knew who he was going to give the chair to.
Yeah,
and then he gave it to Austin. Well, no, I think Austin demanded it more than.
Yeah.
So it was.
I remember
more,
him leaning over the top rope, shouting at him like, "Give me the chair."
That's it.
type
Yeah.
thing. It was.
And then he did, and like I don't know, it was just a bit. Instead of a nice smooth transition into a heel turn, it was a bit clunky and.
But it was, regardless of whether you make him a heel or a face, he was going to get cheered. And I think it was a heel turn that didn't work.
And
Ultimately.
I think the fact that if put it this way, so imagine if so you got the three men in the ring, you got McMahon, Rock, and Stone Cold. McMahon with the chair, he goes to swing it. Everyone thinks he's going to hit Austin because it's Austin.
Yep.
He instead hits The Rock with the chair, and then shakes hands or hugs Stone Cold there and then.
Yeah.
That would have been much better, but instead it just like McMahon was down for a good 2 or 3 minutes before anything really happened.
Yeah, no, that's
and
true.
It was like, what's he there for? Why is he there? And it's
Yeah.
just like, instead of it making an impact, it wasn't a firework. It was more just like a puff.
It was like
of
a
smoke.
sparkler.
Yeah, it was like,
It went out.
and that's it. And it was just, I don't rate it.
Yeah,
If I'm being honest.
I think it's one of those things, isn't it? It's one of those polarising opinions of you either think it was great or it was shite, and because it was
kind of like Brett and Sean at WrestleMania 10.
yeah, it's one of those
9,
10,
11,
12,
8,
97.
7. No, 10 was Yokozuna because
Yeah, 'cause
Brett
it was
so it
shit.
would have been
Whatever one it was.
yeah, 12.
Yeah, 12. Why not? I'm just going to say yes now.
Yeah.
I completely lost my train of thought.
Go back and
shouting
check
out
last
numbers.
week's podcast to find out when that happened.
Yeah. I lost my train of thought. What was on about?
Rock and Stone Cold.
Rock and Stone Cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was... Some people love it, some people hate it. I'm of the opinion of, at the time, it was... Oh my fucking Christ, Stone Cold's like... You know, he spent the last 3 years kicking the shit out of McMahon. Now it's like...
Yeah.
You know,
And that's
best
the thing,
buddies.
and I think
that was the shock factor behind it. But then...
to say that, they should have... Because they didn't look like best buddies when it happened.
No, and there was still tension between them, even following on from that.
That's it. So it was a bit of a... It was, instead of a Shades of Grey heel turn, it should have just been like, holy shit, they are working together. Maybe have McMahon hold the Rock up in like a full Nelson, and then let Stone Cold hit him with a chair after that.
Yeah.
Have them really work together as a team and gel and work as a cohesive
well, to be fair,
unit.
they did, didn't they? Didn't Stone Cold hold the Rock up and then they smacked him with a chair?
I can't remember.
I think that happened.
But it wasn't as impactful as it should have been.
No, that's fair.
the point, I
think if you're going to turn your biggest babyface heel, especially as he's been feuding with man, there probably were better ways to do it.
Yeah.
But hey ho.
I think so. Moving on from WrestleMania 17. Now, this is where I'm going to kind of show where I wasn't watching, because I've watched up to WrestleMania 17 on the network.
Before you say, was this Hogan Rock? The year of Hogan and Rock?
Yeah, I think it was, because I've watched that single match. Because an old friend
versus Icon.
Yeah, an old friend told me to watch that. So WrestleMania 18, 19, 20, 21, fuck it, all the way through to 28. I think I've seen a few of the main events, but this is basically you're going to carry me in this for 10 minutes of this match.
We'll try and carry each other here.
So WrestleMania 18 was headlined by Jericho, Triple H for the Undisputed. I've literally not seen. I haven't seen clips. I haven't seen highlights. I know nothing of this.
I don't know a great deal, to be honest. It's been such a long time. I think, again, that WrestleMania is outshone by Hogan Rock.
Yes, which I have watched.
I think most people look at that and say that's the match that made
Fair
it.
enough.
You know, the handshake at the end, and you know them both beating down NWO. I'm trying to think. I think Jericho was the champion going into
he was,
that.
According to my sources. I can't tell you what happened in the match.
No, but I don't remember. I'm assuming it was a straight win for Triple H. I can't imagine it was. This is still when they had two belts, wasn't it? They had the big gold and the world title.
I don't know. I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah.
Okay,
but
so
yeah, it's not one that I.
It was overshadowed by the Rock and Hogan, basically.
It's a bit like WrestleMania 30 died after the streak ended.
Yeah, true. Okay, so WrestleMania 19. Now, obviously, I've seen clips of this. Kurt Angle versus Brock Lesnar. I've seen the shooting star press.
A match on whole actually is really good. Actually highlights Brock's work.
Okay.
Angle, obviously an Olympic wrestler. We know he can wrestle. Brock being like an All-American and, you know, showing his amateur wrestling background. Them two together, back when Brock was like 23 or something stupid. Yeah. It was actually really, really good. And I commend Lesnar for trying the shooting star press, which apparently he'd been doing.
Yeah, he'd pulled it off.
He'd pulled off loads in training and in other matches, like dark matches and stuff.
Just that little bit too far away. Yeah.
Just overstretched and just landed funny. But hasn't done it since, but he doesn't need to.
Yeah.
But actually, as a spectacle, that match is so good. And having Lesnar, I think at the time he became like the youngest champion.
Oh yeah. He was. Yeah.
It was really good. It was really good. Like I said, it showcases Lesnar actually being able to wrestle. Everyone, just even from his first day there, he's a big guy. He's just going to throw people about. But when he needed to, he could wrestle.
I really can't wait to kind of get stuck into Brock's early career, because
he was really good.
That's it. Yeah.
I was a massive Rock mark.
Oh, I love The Rock. Oh, look at him. He's great. I love him.
I absolutely love The Rock. But
and viewers, I've known Luke for many years. He literally used to sound like that.
I know, right?
Pre-puberty, that was Luke's voice.
It was.
Mum, I'm going to the park.
Yeah, so... Christ, I've lost the plot this evening. And actually, Brock versus Rock. I hate saying that.
Why?
It's just...
Brock versus Rock?
Yeah, it's just...
Brock and Rock.
Brock
and Rock connection.
Yeah, Borg laser. I actually was it was one of those things where I think it's probably slightly later on or after this Mania, but it was one of those things of I actually really want Brock to kick the shit out of him.
Yeah.
I was getting to that point of getting bored of The Rock now. Can't let us kill him.
Then this is the thing, like, I think people need to learn that wrestlers do eventually get boring, I guess, in that case. But I mean, as a main event,
that's what reinvention is, isn't it?
Was that main event potentially where it started getting really good as far as
it was kind of
a corner was turned and it started going like wrestling wise rather than big sweaty men wise?
Yeah, so I think it was more the Attitude Era was. So I don't want to say it was over at that point.
It was dying, and it was more ruthless aggression.
Yeah, so it was kind of the start of that, and it was slightly more focused on. It was a bit like the new era. It was a bit more focused on the smaller men, but the technically sound wrestlers.
And aggressive men. And that's the thing, because if I'm being honest, from what I've seen, the Attitude Era is one of the. I know, obviously, that everyone goes, "Oh, it was awesome," but I haven't been that.
It's hindsight, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's you watch it thinking
you remember it fondly because then you were a spotty teenager that loved swearing and titties.
Yeah, and that's why you love it.
I'm no longer a little teenager. Well, I mean, I still like swearing and titties, but I also appreciate wrestling. I've matured zilch since I was a spotty teenager. But no, I prefer. I think the the ruthless aggression era is going to be the one that really kind of pushes my buttons and
all I'm going to say is it brought us
true, but that was he was good. He was
to start off if he was alright.
He was over at a point, I think. So yeah, WrestleMania 20.
That was the double. It wasn't the double main event, but it was the double win, wasn't it? It was when Benoit won the title, and then Eddie picked it up in the final match.
Look at this: Triple H versus Shawn Michaels versus Chris Benoit for the world. Chris Benoit has no place winning that match. When you look at it on paper,
you look at their respective
versus Shawn Michaels. Holy shit!
Yeah,
and then you attack Chris Benoit, and it's like, okay. But then he wins.
I think it's that thing of like I said, on paper and with their respective careers before that point.
Yep.
You look at it and go, Triple H with Shawn's winning that. Like Benoit's fodder.
Yeah.
They'll be out in like 5 minutes. They'll put him for a table and then they'll kick the shit out of each other.
And I think that's one of the main reasons why this was such a historical moment is because, again, everyone thought it was an obvious thing as what was going to happen.
Completely.
And nobody saw it coming.
No, I think
which is what I love. If you had said to someone, sort of wrestling
even the most
like.
die-hard wrestling fan, if you'd said to him that night, Benoit's winning that title, they'd have laughed off. They have
and I guess people would be like, "Oh, I would love for Benoit to win it, but we know it's not going to happen.
It's going to be Triple H, of course it is." But no, actually, to be fair, I don't. I think I remember the main event more than I do that match. But I think I remember like. It's not really the main event, it's what happened after the main event. It's Benoit coming down, hugging Guerrero. And
such an important moment in wrestling.
And to be honest, that was kind of... Is it Guerrero Lesnar? I think it is, isn't it?
It was,
that main event.
He almost... I think, did he beat him clean?
I think so.
Did something that very few people have ever done.
Yeah, and it was that thing of... It's kind of like the underdog tale. Like, that WrestleMania was the WrestleMania of the underdogs. It was, here are two guys that you would... you'd put all your money on everyone else, and they've just done it on the main event.
Yeah.
And like on the main stage of wrestling, they've just pulled it off. And actually, I think that's what makes a WrestleMania moment.
True.
Though a WrestleMania moment has become more of a hashtag, and everyone has a WrestleMania moment now, and it's not so much a thing.
True. Yeah, I guess. It's more
of a trademark, isn't it?
Yeah.
But anyway.
Then we flash forward WrestleMania 21. Now, this is a WrestleMania that I have watched. I think it was a random DVD that I had, so I just decided to watch the whole thing for shits and giggles. This was the one with the match where it's a match that I put down as a 5-star match. I think Kurt Angle versus Shawn Michaels in just a fuck it, let's have a good match.
Title on the line or not?
No, nothing. I think it was just a match.
I don't remember it.
Just a match. It was really good.
Honestly, I don't remember.
I think this was the one where you had Cena and JBL for one title.
Okay.
So this was the literal passing of the torch night because Cena won as the young pup against
was
JBL.
That
the match was a bit shit.
The CM Punk on the side of the car entrance for Cena, or
not sure.
Was that a little bit later on?
CM Punk on the side of the car?
You know, Cena came out dressed as like a gangster, and he was flanked to the ring by like that 1950s car, and all the guys hanging off it, and like Tommy guns are in suits.
I can't remember. Possibly, actually.
And one of the guys in the suits was CM Punk.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. But then the main event, which was the last match gone, was Triple H and Batista, and again, Triple H, the established star, Batista, the young guy.
That was the Evolution breakdown, wasn't it?
Yeah. And they get, so it was the passing because I think Batista won. So I've actually seen this one. The JBL Cena match, a bit shit. I think it was a really quite a short match. It was under 10 minutes if I remember rightly.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty poor.
And then Triple H and Batista, I mean, neither guy known for...
That's too big sway, man.
That's true. Yeah. So after everything I just said about it was looking up for wrestling, actually,
a lot happens in 12 months.
Yeah, it's very true. Very true. So yeah, so you've gone from fucking you've gone from Lesnar and Angle, Chris Benoit, and then you've got Triple H and Batista.
So we had 2 years of good wrestling.
Yeah, they couldn't last forever. But yeah, I don't remember much about the match.
I think this is the thing, though. Like we've said before in podcasts, that we kind of dropped out for a little bit.
Yeah,
and I think we're entering those years of where we were away for a while, so we've had to come back and retrospectively watch it. So it's quite hard for us to sit here and say, "Oh, this was great and that was great," because we've watched it. If we had the time and the preparation for this, we would have sat down and watched them all. But we've ballsed that up a little bit. To be fair, there's far too many hours for me to watch.
Yes, true. WrestleMania 22 was John Cena versus Triple H. I have no idea.
Actually, do you know what?
I know nothing of this.
Scrap what I said.
Okay.
I think that is the WrestleMania, because I think that's when Triple H came out with the first kind of... You know, they do the big openings, like he does his big entrances. I'm pretty sure he came out in like a Viking type thing.
Okay.
Because I remember watching this with my brother.
All right.
So he comes out like a Viking, like, because he had that stupid, like, not quite beard moustache thing.
Okay.
So it kind of started at his sideburns, got to his chin, and then came up round his chin.
Yeah.
And he had that stupid Viking thing going on, and Cena came out.
Actually, no, yes. I've just read it here on Mastermindopedia that, CM Punk.
Yeah, Cena came out.
Was with
there. All the guys and Tommy guns and stuff.
Okay.
I do vaguely remember it.
I think I might have seen the entrances as part of a highlights video on YouTube of the best entrances ever.
I don't remember the match. I don't remember the outcome.
Yeah.
But then I was with my brother at the time, so I probably don't remember a lot about that weekend.
Is this Mark? Because
the Hitman.
He hasn't. Yeah, Hitman Mark hasn't been in touch for a while. He used to post like messages regularly.
I think it's a simple fact of he's quite busy. To be fair,
fair enough.
He's got a lot going
fair
on.
Enough. I can't argue that.
He doesn't talk to me.
Oh well.
He's my brother, so.
I was going to say, I talk to my brother a little bit, but if I can't ever see my brother.
Miles away.
That's true. Cyprus, isn't it?
Yeah.
But hey, we've got fans in
2
Cyprus.
hours ahead of me.
Jeez. Well, maybe he could have given us some help with this.
He probably could have done. To be fair.
By the way, guys, in 2 hours' time, you're going to be talking about this. Yeah. Oh, let's do some research.
Come on, Mark, get on Skype. Should I call him now, Mark?
WrestleMania 23, John Cena versus Shawn Michaels for the WWE Championship.
No idea.
Same pass.
Yeah,
WrestleMania.
To be fair, though, actually, in saying that, I think at the time, roughly, I think that would be when Cena was kind of at his peak.
Yeah,
he
would have
been.
Well, if I remember rightly, I remember reading actually, because I used to do a lot of research on what was considered the best matches, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And I get the feeling that John Cena and Shawn Michaels, they had this WrestleMania headline match, but I think it was either the week before or the week after, at either Raw or SmackDown.
Yeah.
They had like a match that went almost an hour.
Wow.
And it was like one of the best matches of all time that wasn't on a pay-per-view.
Oh, wow.
And I saw out the DVD for the show.
Yeah.
And I've got that somewhere, and I don't think I've watched the match yet. But everyone thought that it was for the title, and I think Cena won. I think Michaels had the title, and Cena won the match.
Yeah.
But it was actually a non-title match, but it wasn't announced to the crowd. So the crowd went apeshit, thinking they'd just seen the rematch from WrestleMania, and Cena had won, and actually it was a non-title match, just exhibition match.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I should dig that out sometime and watch that, because apparently it was a really good match.
To be fair, those two work great. Like people, like especially nowadays, people are like, oh, Cena's only for kids, rah rah. But to be fair, his work rate and like, he's really good.
I'll tell you what, go onto YouTube, youtube.com/F4TV. There's a Mastermind analysis episode on there. The first one where we analysed John Cena. I remember Toby Hagen, who was with us at the time, didn't actually know who Cena was, which was...
He lives under a rock, that man.
There
I
you go.
swear.
There you go.
Rick the model, Martel, my ass.
But yeah, so listen to me and Kai break down John Cena, and actually give him the props he deserves, I think. WrestleMania 24, Edge versus The Undertaker. Was this the one where Edge went through 2 tables, or am I thinking? No, I'm thinking of Edge and Cena, I think.
Pass. See, this is the thing. Like, I really liked Edge.
Same thing. He was potentially in my top.
But I'm.
He's in my top 10 favourites, I think.
I think that's
mainly
thing,
for his entrance music, though. That's
fair enough.
Until Bobby Roode came along, that was my all-time favourite wrestling music. Was on this day.
I think it's that thing. It's I really like. I'm really annoyed at myself for not watching wrestling as much at this point, because I dipped in and out. But actually, Edge was so good when he was on his own.
That's it.
It was. And I'm really annoyed I missed a majority of it. Yeah, I can go back and watch the pay-per-views, but it's not the same.
One of the first wrestling DVDs I ever owned in my second renaissance of watching wrestling was the best pay-per-view matches of a certain year, and there was one where it was, I think, John Cena and Edge in a Last Man Standing, and Big Show chokeslammed Cena off the stage through a spotlight or something.
Okay.
And I remember just thinking, holy shit, Edge was so good.
Yeah.
Before he retired. But yeah, I don't know what year that was. Anyway, WrestleMania 25.
Hang on.
Hang
on.
24. Sorry, 24, yeah.
24.
Or are you going to pick a random match that I'm going to have?
No. 24. Was that the one where
Are you asking me? I don't know.
Edge retained, and then the following night on Raw retired?
I have no idea.
Because that roughly would be the timing. No, it might not be it. Might be a bit late. No, surely it's later than that, actually.
You're asking me questions. I haven't seen this. So
come on, Mastermind.
I don't know. I don't know everything. Jeebus.
No, fair enough. I scrap that. I don't know if it was.
Fuck it. 20. Wait, does he pop up in it? I don't know.
25.
25. Triple H versus Randy Orton. Not seen it.
That
2009.
2009.
I'd just come back from Canada at this point. I think actually this was just before I started getting into TNA.
I don't remember it at all. All I can think of is it would have been like a legend killer type.
Yeah, I think that was maybe when Randy Orton won his first title, maybe another split up of Evolution or whatever it was called back then.
Yeah,
I don't know. But yeah, that was potentially, within the same month that I started watching TNA.
Were there any other matches on that card that we would have known about? Do you know?
Let's open the card up on Mastermindopedia. So the matches we have. Tell you what, fuck it. Spoiler alerts coming up. So if you don't know if you don't know what happened, then
we don't.
Yeah. Then turn away now. So pre-show we had the colon. See, I love the way that if you don't have the right what's the word sign above the letter, the accent. There, yeah, thank you. It's the colons. Carlito and Primo defeated John Morrison and The Miz. It was a lumberjack match to unify the WWE and World Tag Team Championships.
Okay.
Money in the Bank, CM Punk defeated Kane, Mark Henry with Tony Atlas. Okay. MVP, Shelton Benjamin, Kofi Kingston, Christian and Finlay. Santino Marella won the Miss WrestleMania Battle Royal.
Was it that one?
That's the year.
God's sake.
Jericho defeated Ricky Steamboat, Roddy Piper and Jimmy Snooker.
Okay.
Matt Hardy defeated Jeff Hardy in an Extreme Rules match.
Delete.
Rey Mysterio defeated JBL
Jubbler
for the Intercontinental Championship. Undertaker defeated Shawn Michaels.
25.
There you go. So not the retirement one, the pre-retirement one.
How could we forget that was at 25? That was like one of the best matches they ever had.
There you go. John Cena defeated Edge and Big Show, triple threat for the World Heavyweight.
Yeah.
And Triple H defeated Randy Orton for the WWE Championship. So of all that, the one that makes us remember it is Santino Marella.
Yeah, that's bad. It should have automatically been Taker and Michaels.
Yeah, but that was Santino Marella.
That's bad.
26, Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels. No disqualification.
That was the rematch.
Streak versus career match. Now this one I remember actually because I was back in the country working in a call centre and I'd only just got back into wrestling.
Yeah.
And my friend Dan said he'd bought the DVD and we watched the entire thing. Can't remember any other matches. But yeah, the Streak versus career match. Oh, it was emotional. It was totes emotion.
I think Shawn Michaels has got that though, hasn't he? Like, it must have been not the year before, but the year before that when he retired Flair.
At 24.
It must have been 24 when he retired Flair. And that "I'm sorry, I love you" kicked him in the face, and then
I think
he pins him and then just hugs him and gets out the ring just to give him his moment. Michaels is always good for stuff like that.
All the feels. I think the thing with that match with Taker and Michaels was when he kicked out of the tombstone and the look on Taker's face. Yeah, and when he literally was just like, I'm trying to think, was it when he did the moonsault and Taker caught him and?
Yes.
Was that the one that he kicked out of, or was that the final one?
I think that was the one he kicked out of.
Yeah, and then,
then he gets up and then he goes into another one. Yeah,
and then that was it. But yeah, so just the look on his face and the fact that Michaels was clearly dead, but he was like clawing up Taker and like saying, "Fucking come on, you bastard!" Like,
so good.
Totes emotion. That was a good match. That was really.
That was good.
Was that the one where Taker came in from the heaven, from underneath, and Michaels came in
from the top?
Or was that the one before?
I think that was the one before.
Okay.
Because no, hang on, no, it was that one because
it was reflecting the heaven and hell type thing, and Michaels came down from the heavens and Undertaker rose up.
Was that the one? No,
I don't know, but yeah. Either way, that was brilliant stuff as well.
Yeah. I was going to say, I know there's one where it's Triple H, Taker, and Michaels, and they're all walking up the ramp together.
Oh no, that was WrestleMania 28.
Was that 28?
So that was when I think so. When I first started watching it. Okay, so we're almost at the point where I'm really back on board.
We're back on it.
25, 6, 7.
Yeah.
The Miz and John Cena.
Didn't remember
that
all.
One I haven't seen.
No.
That was I obviously know what happened because The Rock was hosting, and I think The Rock gave John Cena a rock bottom to give Miz the victory.
Yeah.
Which is really weird because you look at you think about The Miz, you don't think, oh yeah, he beat John Cena in the main event of WrestleMania one year. Like
it's
a weird one.
He always claims that he's a main eventer, and he is.
He was.
Yeah, he was.
But he was shit back then, and now he is.
So much better now.
Yeah, 100%. So yeah, I haven't seen that WrestleMania at all. I know nothing of it.
No, I'm like you with that one. That
cool.
one slid under the radar for us.
Let's get stuck into the shit that we know about after 27 minutes of talking about stuff we're not quite sure about. WrestleMania 28, John Cena versus The Rock. Now this was the matchup that really got me. I say it didn't get me back into wrestling. It got me back into the WWE. Until the following year.
Once in a lifetime.
Until the following year. So at this point, I was 100% on TNA. I was one of those guys who was like, oh, fuck WWE, man. They can't do anything right. TNA does all the cool storylines. They got all the best wrestlers, blah, blah, blah.
How the tide has turned.
I used to read a website. I find I still do. I still read ProWrestling.net to catch up with results and stuff and read reviews on what happened with TNA.
Yeah.
And of course, there'd be a little bit of TNA, but a whole load of WWE, and there was so much talk about John Cena and The Rock that it pulled me in.
Yeah, that's
it intrigued me. I was 100% in at this point.
Yeah,
and it was the first WrestleMania I ever watched the same year that it was released.
Okay,
it was probably actually the first WrestleMania that I watched, if I'm being honest. Up until this point, I'd never watched the whole WrestleMania. So yeah, 2028 was my first WrestleMania in that respect.
And you popped your WrestleMania cherry.
It did, thanks to Cena and The Rock. The match wasn't anything special, but it also was at the same time.
Was this the one that The Rock won?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Cena was sat halfway up the ramp contemplating life. And
I should have ended it then.
I don't think it was... I think it was the better out of the two.
See, I don't remember the second time round. The
second time round, well, okay, you know when when John Cena lifts someone up for the attitude adjustment and they wriggle off?
Yeah.
And you know when The Rock goes for rock bottom and they elbow out of it?
Yeah.
20 minutes of that.
Oh, for fuck's
Do you remember
sake.
that? It was literally just reverse.
Oh, that sounds horrid.
No other move mattered other than the finishes. So actually, there we go. So that's talking about WrestleMania 29 as well. But yeah, I mean, I loved the first encounter because it was built up over so long. There were so many skits back and forth. I think the Survivor Series beforehand, John Cena picked The Rock as his mystery tag partner, and no one saw that coming. I was just the whole build up. That was probably the best feud I think the WWE has built in at that point for a very long time.
Yeah,
because it reeled me in. I was like a fish on a hook, and they just reeled me in. I was flapping away.
I don't remember it at all. I knew it happened.
Yeah.
Like, I knew it was there, but I hadn't seen it. To this day, I don't think I've watched both of them. I think I've seen one of them.
Okay.
Which I think would be the first one. I don't think I've seen the second one.
When did you really get back into it then?
I want to say the next year. I want to say 29.
Okay, so that was Rock and Cena for the second time.
Was that... No, hang on a second. Was it 29? Yeah, it was 29 because... going back to my brother at this point, me, my brother, my sister and I all sat around my brother's eating chili, eating crisps and sweets and staying up for Mania. And it's the first time we'd done it as like a... That's cool. As like a collective.
Cool. I do kind of want to stay up and watch it instead of without going to the pub, but watching it at home. I'm very aware of neighbours and stuff. But that WrestleMania 29 was The Shield versus Orton, Sheamus and Big Show, Mark Henry and Ryback, Team Hell No versus Ziggler and Big E. Fandango. Oh, Christ. Fandango and Jericho.
Because 28 was the 18-second Sheamus Daniel Bryan thing, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Yeah. Yeah, because that was the first... That was technically the first... Because at this point, I paid for WrestleMania. Okay. And I was sitting in my old bedroom watching it, and that was the first. I was like, okay, interesting. I didn't know who Daniel Bryan was. Yeah. But yeah, I found it very interesting.
I think it was before the network.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it was before the network, and I'd watched 29, my brother and my sister, and I thought...
Is your sister into it? Interesting as well?
No, we just dragged her along. We were
fair enough.
We're watching Mania. Just come in and watch it. And she was like, all right, fine. So we watched 29, and then like the next day I was talking to someone at work, and because like it was the first time I'd watched it in ages, I was like, I'm going to go back and watch it. And I remember sitting on YouTube trying to find WrestleMania 28.
YouTube.
Just like, where's 28? Like I can get bits of it. So yeah, like quite glad that the...
I fucking love the network.
So much stuff on there. I love it. It's good.
Okay, so should we flash forward to have you got any more on The Rock and
No,
Rock
like
and
I said,
Cena?
didn't watch it.
And I think in a way that was kind of the start of the part-timers really coming in with The Rock.
See 2 weeks previous.
Yes. Yeah, I guess. WrestleMania 30, Randy Orton versus Batista versus Daniel Bryan. So this was when the WWE were fucking up left, right and centre. And
not Batista won. To fans.
Batista won the Rumble the year that Roman Reigns...
Talk about part-timers, right?
True, yeah. Well, and I think this is the thing, they were rebelling because they did... Because that was the year that they wanted Roman Reigns to win the Rumble, and Batista won it.
Yeah.
And then the year after, Roman Reigns won it.
And we didn't want it.
Yeah. So, Daniel Bryan... I think everybody knew Daniel Bryan was going to win. There was no doubt.
I think if they pulled the trigger and Bryan had lost...
Well, your other options are either for Randy Orton to retain or have Batista as the champ. I think there would have been a riot.
Yeah, that's not...
Yeah.
It's not worth thinking about.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that they built it as an underdog story, that he had to go through Triple H.
Yeah.
Of course,
the first match.
Yeah, after going through Triple H, like he'd hurt his shoulder, he was banged up, he then got his main event spot. They put him, like it was a power bomb into an RKO through a table on the outside. He was out of the match for like 2/3 of it.
That's it.
And then he got Batista to tap out.
I'm glad Batista tapped out, because that's kind of a... Fine.
It protects Randy, because Randy's then got the you still haven't beaten me thing.
True.
Which was the whole point between those two, and it just made Batista like a dick.
That's very true. I mean, I don't know, it was just a good feel-good moment, I think.
It was. I think it's, how, like I said, had it gone the other way, the whole place, that I don't know if it was an ECW show where all the chairs get thrown in the ring.
Yes.
Yeah, that would have happened. McMahon would have been
torn the place down.
Yeah.
Now, WrestleMania 31, which I think was the first WrestleMania I ever watched live. Like, this was the first year where I was in MK11 watching live.
Am I right in thinking that you said this was your favourite WrestleMania?
Yes. Yeah. I think this is the best WrestleMania ever for a number of reasons, but... I'm going to go on record now. I think Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins.
Can we quickly jump back to 30?
Sorry, yeah.
Sorry. How can we forget the streak ended?
Well, it's because we don't talk about the streak, because that's that's not just a can of worms. That is an ocean of worms to open up. I know,
but like the streak ended.
It was a moment.
Fucking 2 part-timers.
Yes.
Ruining one of the best things in wrestling. Anyway, right.
So yeah,
sorry.
Right, Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns for starters. If we talk about that,
mentioned this. I think we mentioned this.
Nobody
a few weeks ago.
Yes, But I'm going to get my teeth into this because it was the match itself between Reigns and Lesnar. It was better than anybody expected, and I think actually because thing is, I think it was one of the things that everyone just thought Roman Reigns was going to win.
Yeah, I think it was a foregone conclusion for everyone that Reigns was taking the title. It was more of a case of, but how is he going to beat Lesnar? We know he's going to do it. How is he going to do it? How can it possibly happen? Was it the SummerSlam before that Mania where he did 16 German suplexes to
just
Cena,
and
he was on that massive destruction, like path of destruction, ruining everyone in his wake.
Yep.
And that was that thing of, Roman is a big guy, but how are you gonna?
That's the thing. So they built Lesnar up as he's destroyed Cena in 16 suplexes, and he's unstoppable. He's a champion that's only working a handful of dates a year.
Yep.
Obviously, Roman Reigns was going to win the match, but everyone was like, but they've obviously built Lesnar up to a point where it's so high. Surely he's not just going to eat a spear and that's it. Everyone was saying, is it going to be a squash match for Reigns? Almost like Goldberg does. You could never get
away with a squash match for Reigns against Lesnar.
This is the thing. So everyone was like, I think no one was looking forward to it, but everyone was intrigued.
They wanted to see how it was going to happen.
That's it. And then all of a sudden, 15 minutes into the match, Seth Rollins' music hits. And I remember
everyone lost their
Everybody
shit.
around MK11 just looked at it. They stopped watching the screen, looked at each other, and were like, "What is this?" Like, because nobody wrote Seth Rollins into this.
I think it's that thing as well. Like, there'd been Money in the Bank briefcases for such a long time.
Yes.
Like, it was a Mania match to start with. You'd have your WrestleMania match, which was Money in the Bank, for a contract later on in the year.
This is why I hated Money in the Bank this year, because Ambrose cashed in the same night.
So we haven't had that.
So that's the thing. I've missed the conversations throughout the year of, is he going to cash in tonight? I missed that.
But that whole thing of no one had ever cashed in at Mania, and for Rollins to do it.
But the thing is, it was usually a post-match thing. The guys, this guy's just lost.
Obviously, well, I think that's the thing. Like, Lesnar and Reigns had beat the shit out of each other.
Yes, literally, and that's the thing. I think that's why it was such a good match.
They were both just completely fucked. Like, Reigns was laughing at every stiff punch.
Yeah.
Like, Roman was shocked. Lesnar was shocked every time he was getting like thrown about and whatnot, and it was just like, what a time for Seth to go. And that's the thing, I'm picking a person apart here. And it was almost like
people were like, hang on, is he cashing in? He's not. The match isn't over. It's the match is still going.
He's making it a triple threat.
It was like the cogs turned as he was running down. Everyone was like, holy shit.
It was that thing as well, because it was essentially, it's a triple threat, which means I don't have to beat Brock Lesnar. I can beat Reigns.
That's it. And it was almost, imagine if like you had memory loss and you had no idea that Christmas was tomorrow, and you wake up tomorrow and, oh, by the way, it's Christmas. And it's like, you go from it just being like, oh, okay, let's just see what happens, and all of a sudden, holy fucking shit. This, like, and then that's when people started thinking, maybe we don't have to get the shit that we thought we were going to get. Maybe we're going to get a really cool... Maybe they're going to give it to Rollins. Maybe we're going to get a new champion that isn't a part-timer, and it's an up-and-coming star that we haven't been booing for months.
Yep.
Holy fuck, it's just happened.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to go on record. I am going to hold my hands up and say this is potentially my favourite wrestling match of all time ever.
I remember sitting on the sofa when it happened, and throughout the night I'd been tweeting a little bit, not really into it. I think I'd posted one or two bits of it saying like, I'm watching WrestleMania, and then I found the GIF within like 30 seconds of him standing at the top swinging the belt, and I was like, oh my god, he just stole the title, because like that's what it was. It's like he's just come in and just like, I'm taking that, lads, and just fucked off with it. It was such a good moment.
I get the feeling that in maybe 10-15 years that I'll be sitting with a grey beard on the internet saying, oh, you kids these days don't realise how good WrestleMania 30 was, just like I kind of shit on WrestleMania 17. I guess so. It might end up being one of those matches where you just had to be there. It doesn't work if you don't understand Money in the Bank concept, blah blah blah. It depends what the state of wrestling is like in 15 years time. It was so good. I think that was the best. I think that's the best WrestleMania main event ever.
I think it's up there,
Throwing that out there. Quote me on it, folks. WrestleMania 31, best main event ever.
Also, WrestleMania 31 gave us the best, and it wasn't an RKO out of nowhere because we all saw it coming.
Well,
but it was the
on Rollins,
best
yeah.
RKO
Yes.
we saw.
And I think
earlier in that
I
night.
gift that when I was watching it live the other day. And
that was good.
Yeah. Oh, so good. And then, unfortunately, we're going to end the podcast on a bit of an anticlimax. 32, Triple H, Roman Reigns. The match that has 0 surprises, 0 cheers, yet they somehow piped in fake ones.
Yeah, when you rewatch it.
Yeah.
For
I
the
don't
other
think I
matches,
even want to talk about this, to be honest.
For the other matches on the card, not bad.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
And then you get to the last one and just think, I've stayed up 3.5 hours to get to this shit.
You probably could have gone home at the start of the match and woken up in the morning, read all the spoilers, and had no surprises.
Yeah.
So that it was a brawl and Roman Reigns speared him to win. Oh.
Yeah, it was feeding Reigns to the masses, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But to be honest, like, you know,
we're in front of over 100,000 people as well.
We are
101,763 people had to sit through that.
Like a week away from Mania now. And I think within the 12 months from that to where Reigns is now, actually, I don't mind Reigns. He's a good he's a solid worker. The match he had last month with Strowman was one of his best he's had for a while. He puts on consistently good matches.
But I don't know. If you ask me, Roman Reigns is a man portraying a pro wrestler.
Okay.
Someone like Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are professional wrestlers.
Okay, that's fair. All I'm going to say is, look, and again, yes, it was in someone who is ridiculously talented, but his matches with AJ Styles would not have been half as good if he wasn't a talented wrestler.
Maybe.
I think we shit on him because he was thrown down our throats. The reason he was thrown down our throats was because of the Royal Rumble
the year
where
before,
we all wanted him to win when Batista did.
And they were just 12
like,
months
oh my God,
too
let's
late.
break him up and send him on a singles run.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'm not going to sit here and defend Reigns and then bash him and stuff.
Did we ever do a Mastermind analysis on Roman Reigns?
No,
I'm not
but we
sure.
should.
No, I think we did. We did. Go to youtube.com/F4TV. Listen to us breaking down Roman Reigns. I'm pretty sure it's on there. So we are time of release 6 days away from WrestleMania.
Yeah.
We'll be back later on in the week with our predictions.
We will be.
And then we can listen to those on the Monday morning and laugh at how wrong or right we were.
I'm getting it all right.
I think I really want to start doing a live like betting thing, and we'll see who wins. I want to rip off What Culture and have our own little predictions belt.
Yeah, I'm up for that.
Yeah, but we'll have to. Yeah, we'll see.
I think I've got the old.
Oh, don't.
The old WCW heavyweight.
Do you really?
Yeah, I think it is.
Let's fight over that. I'll take you down now. I'm going to slam you through this brand new table of yours.
It's it's under the bed upstairs.
Okay. Did you break that out a lot?
I use it for no. Get this.
Yeah.
Get this.
Oh no! You've told me. Yeah. Tell the story. This is Ace. Go on.
So I use it for 2 reasons.
Yep.
One is to get the kids to do stuff around the house.
Yeah. Fucking A.
Right. So I will tell them, like, if I want to knacker them out. So say I've got them overnight and I want to knacker them out. I say, right, go to the park, and the first person to do like 3 laps of the park and do this, and this can get 1 point.
Yeah.
And then I'll give them another task. And the person who I decide wins gets the belt.
That's awesome. Right. Such a good idea.
But then also recently we started actually using it in wrestling. So like me and Jake, like I'll power bomb them onto the bed and stuff. I find this really weird. My daughter, she absolutely loves being put in a sharpshooter. I find that really weird.
Fair enough. Stretch her out a bit.
And then Jake will like hit me with the belt. So we actually, it's so good. It's so clever.
Turn from little Jake.
Yeah. So
wow.
We muck about with it, but I use it to get the kids to do chores.
That is awesome, folks. There you go. Wrestling belts, not just props. Yeah. They are to be fought over.
Wrestling Dad 101.
There you go. So I guess next Monday will be my WrestleMania live report. At this point in time, I have no idea who I'm going to do it with because you're abandoning me.
I'm in the Cotswolds.
You are, but we will find a way to do it. So tune in at some point over the next week to hear our predictions.
Yeah, we'll get it up. We're Monday. We'll try and get it up maybe Thursday.
Yeah, or Friday, or Saturday. Sunday morning. We'll see. We'll
get up at some point.
But for now, social media shit.
Social media.
Facebook.com/Figure4Radio. is our Facebook address.
Instagram and Twitter at Figure 4 Radio.
As well, don't forget myself at F4R_Mastermind. Go find me, follow me. Please give me follows and likes.
Twitter
and
handle, isn't
that's
it?
my Twitter. Yeah, handle. That's the word I don't yet know. It's my handle. F4R_Mastermind. That's me.
Every time someone says handle, I think one of those like 1980s shortwave radios. You know, we're like,
really?
Yeah, we're like breaker.
I just think a door handle. To be honest, like that's how old school I am.
Fair enough.
We are on iTunes, Stitcher, Podomatics,
SoundCloud.
Are we on SoundCloud?
Yeah, I think
Do we put
our
anything
last
on there?
predictions went up on SoundCloud.
Possibly, yeah.
We're on Mixcloud as well.
Mixcloud, TuneIn Radio app, everywhere you get your podcasts.
Yep.
Give us a like, rate, review, subscribe, leave comments, leave ratings. Just
Please leave comments. I love talking to you guys.
Yeah, we'd like to know that you're listening, so let us know. What else have we missed out? F4, Figure 4, youtube.com/F4TV.
Yeah, that's what
and
we are.
figure4radio.weebly.com.
Oh, Christ. Yeah, we haven't said that in ages.
Because you
don't blog anymore.
I haven't had a chance to blog because I changed jobs and I don't sit at a keyboard all day. So I can't write a cheeky little blog post. But yeah, just get out there, like, let us know you're listening, give us likes, follows, subscribes, rates,
the whole entire thing,
the whole shebang. Just click stuff and type stuff for us.
Yeah.
But for now, I have been the Mastermind Ollie Spring.
I've been Luke-O-Mac.
We'll see you just before WrestleMania.
Bye.